Man, I realize it takes you a lot of effort to make the sound. I understand that. Another thing you could do is nod. Can you nod like that? Okay. Do you like the Beatles? That sounds like looks like it's easier for you to do that than say yes. So just a little nod like that. Because I can't, let me see if I can look inside your ear and see your brain. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, there it is. Oh no, I can see.
Yeah.
I can see right through.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Maybe
there's nothing in
I
there.
got it in my pocket. Hold on.
So it helps if somebody asks you a question if you provide an answer other than just your smile, because sometimes your magnificent smile is not enough.
It's enough for me, Bob.
So a nice little nod here. So let's just try this little puppy right here. This is one of my music boxes, and I have it rigged for a switch. So I'm going to take your switch out of the switch interface. Oh, it's all charged up. Charges so quickly. I love that. Toss that over there. This will pair up again, so you don't wonder what happened here. That is running through my iPhone at the moment. So many gadgets here.
And RJ, if you have ideas for switch access for him better than what we've got going, we really appreciate it.
This is pretty good, and it's the only one that would occur to me is the cheek. The cheek might be a little easier than the trunk. This is part of your trunk, but he's so used to this that I'm tempted to just leave it.
A different type of switch?
No, not really. No, he's good at that. I like plastic switches rather than soft switches because they're real, you know, it's on, it's off. Yeah. Pillow switches, like, how far do I have to push it before it's on? She's very good. I approve. I'm teasing.
About what? I won't say how many.
Oh, I could tell you. You've been out in a while.
She's the best.
Oops, it was working. Come on, come back, come back. There.
So is that just a separate Bluetooth speaker you mounted on a...
It is. It's just a little JBL. If you're a musician, that name should ring true. They've been around for 50, 60 years. And then I have a little controller inside that I've hot wired to the buttons to be just these buttons right here.
Right.
So this is working through the smartphone. For the populations here, though, I would not do it that way. I make another one of these. It's self-contained MP3. So it's all contained here, and we're not going through my smartphone.
Right, okay.
That's what I
so
would
it's like
do.
a USB stick or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I use a little tiny one there.
Okay.
But for now, yeah, which switch is which? There we go. Okay, so this is music. If you don't like the music, you can change it with your switch. And just find a song you like. It's that simple. Oh, he likes that idea. Yeah.
That's a great little tool.
I love this song. Why? I think it's a great song. And then we can dance. Well, you're pretty big to dance there. But if we had more time and more room, I would dance with you. It's a good song. Try a different one. Everybody knows this one. Let's listen to this one for a sec. Oh, he likes this. It's nice and simple. He understands the switch. Everything's very clear right now. You would have been horrified by what we were doing before. We were doing the iOS version of what you're doing. Horrible. Let's just wait for one chorus. Oh, yes. You were smart. Quickly moved on. Smart girl. Here we go. Here we go. It was a silly song, but for some reason, it persists. Let's try another one. You got it. Oh, this is this one. one switch that I have plugged into the next button, so it's plugged in the next song. But he can use two switches if we wanted. We might plug another switch in and position it next to his cheek. Maybe mount it right here with a little short arm, just goes right over to his cheek, and that could be his play-pause button, so he could start and stop his music when he wants.
And you would recommend like a spec switch,
Yeah.
something smaller?
Well, I would provide it. Nobody makes small arms. Everybody makes these monsters, which are just, I don't like them. Or they go to something like this, just these big monsters. But I make little short ones that you can make as short as you want, just to get right where you want.
I like that. That's it.
And I think that's what we'd want here. It's called the mini arm. And then at the end of it, we'd put like a spec switch, or I'd make a smaller one called a compact switch.
Oh,
Or
smaller
we
than
use
a
a big
spec.
one. Small, there's 1 inch. This one's 2.5 inch. I'm going to touch your cheek for a minute, Bob. Here I come. Oh, good. So he doesn't have a lot of chubbiness in his cheek, so that the smaller the spec switch would work. Sometimes if somebody has chubby cheeks like me, when you push in on the spec switch, it just pushes in not my muscle, but my tissue. And you really have to push hard on it in order to click the switch. But he has nice firm cheeks, so when he pushes on the switch, it's going to activate the switches, which is what we want. So 2 switches, one for play pause and one for next, and then he's got music. And then we would want to do the same thing for a remote controller that I make for TV, which is just a modified TV remote that I make that would work with his TV, and he would have either 1 or 2 buttons there. We'd use the same switches. One switch would be for channel up. Now these days there's so many channels that the ones that I choose allow you to program 10 to 15 favorites. So he would only cycle through the ones that you program in there for 7, 6, 10, 11, 12 of them. And then maybe a power button also, so he could turn it on and off by himself, and then channel surf by himself. So he'd have 2 activities that he could do completely independently. Listen to his own music, and we could put earbuds in here, and he can only play his own music for himself, and then he can operate his own television completely independently.
He doesn't have anything, does he?
He actually has a